Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nev from the Riot Review. Join me, and we will judge people based off the content of their character and not the color of their skin. Of course, things have been going down in Portland. We are on day, 83, 84 of the Portland riots. Stuff's definitely going down, but before we get into Portland, let's check out what's going on in Iowa. Check this out. We got lots of idiot protesters thinking it's a reasonable thing to block roads. This isn't how we win friends and influence people. I'm seeing maybe about 3 protest signs, so I really get the feeling a lot of these people just want to cause stuff. They're not really interested in the cause, and 100%, this is an absolutely stupid thing to do, because there's some situation people are going to the hospital, they don't have an ambulance, they can't afford an ambulance, or they don't think it's bad enough that they need an ambulance. But I'll tell you, flat up, straight out, I had a problem with my daughter when she was a newborn, and I had to get her to the hospital in my car. We didn't think it was as bad as it was, but if someone would have held me up for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, she wouldn't be here with me today. So this stuff literally costs lives. Now, it's okay apparently, though. It's okay to cost lives as long as you get a message out, or at least that's the conversation that I've been having with people on Reddit. As soon as this stuff started happening, I would get into the Reddit comments and tell people, don't do this. Absolutely don't do this. This is unconscionable. You can't do it for this reason. And they just say, I was told flat out, straight up, by a lot of people that it's okay if people die if you can get a message out. Is universally stupid, man. So here's a much better vision of what's going on, better, higher quality video. You can see, I believe someone in the middle maybe tried to get through and everyone just kind of zergling rushed them. Now, I'm almost surprised that nobody's run these people over. Oh, let's play a drinking game. How many black people can you see in the crowd? Black bloc doesn't count. I am not seeing any black people here. I'm not seeing any signs showing, okay, that's maybe 1, 2 signs. I'm not seeing any signs showing exactly what they're protesting about. Let's keep watching.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Apparently that guy didn't appreciate it too much.
It was the same guy. Guarantee it. I had that on video.
Now, what's really funny is a lot of people are going to act like they were totally oppressed. Oh my goodness, I got hit by a car, being totally reasonable at a peaceful protest. You know, if you're blocking roads, it's not a peaceful protest. It's not a peaceful protest. Absolutely not. What the heck? If you block roads, you're probably going to get hit. Once again, let's take a check. How many black people are here for this, I suppose, is a Black Lives Matter thing? I don't see any black people here. So if there's anyone on the far left that's watching here, this is the hospital. You see what this is? This is an emergency pole in the parking lot. If you press the button, it'll let people know that there's an emergency. The reason why these are here is because the standard civilian vehicles come in with an emergency. They can go here and hit the emergency button. If they're not in an ambulance, ladies and gentlemen, there are people with life-threatening issues that are not in an ambulance. And if you block the roads, you're frickin' responsible for murder, folks. There, now I'm outraged like you guys are. You guys are outraged for this, that, or the other thing. You know, Black Lives. Of course, Black Lives. But I'm talking about lives. I'm also talking about Black Lives, and I am also upset now because you don't seem to take care of lives. You don't think about people's lives. You don't care about lives. You got an idea you want to push. You got an agenda you want to push. So here, you're not interested in lives. I'm just as outraged as you are. My power level is just as high as you, and I am just as good a human being as you now because you are discriminating against me in a car with someone in the back that needs to get to a hospital. Blam, we're on equal footing now. Anyways, yeah, Portland, lots going on. Lots always going on in Portland. Day 83, 84. We got more of the out of your houses and into the streets. This is definitely not a good way to win friends and influence people. This is a good way to terrify people in their $1 million little houses. Here we have more peaceful protesters peacefully destroying a police vehicle. And here we have the police pushing them back for the dumb stuff they did. Meanwhile, they're screaming as if they just got skinned knee or something. Police brutality, oh no. Now the wall of moms is nowhere to be found. I almost wonder if maybe they all got arrested and not being released, because throughout Portland, since the night that Adam Autobot got kicked in the head by Marquise Love. There's been a lot of these kids. I like to call them piranha. They like to run around and mess with people who are peaceful protesters and homeless people. And these are definitely kids. These are definitely kids. This is definitely late at night. The wall of moms, where are you? Mom, how about you get off your ass and you get your kids? Maybe give them a good beating. Tell them not to hang out with the Antifa type, because the Antifa type are actually using them. They're being these kids are being controlled by these Antifa anarchist types, and it's freaking sickening. Now, if you're not aware, there's definitely ways that Antifa like to fight, and it's freaking dirty. Alright, so here's a quick little video of the Eric Clanton incident. Everyone facing Antifa is on the right, everyone else is on the left. For the most part, we got old folks and females up at the front. Once things get really weird, we're going to have a lot of females up at the front. And here's the guy that got hit in the head with that bike lock right there. Got hit in the head with a bike lock. He was on the right, but this is just civil discord. He wasn't hurting anybody. He was being a bit of a clown. That's all. He was being a clown, and he got his head hit in by Eric Clanton. This is how cowards act. So you get the women up front, and then you get your evil people in the back that reach out all of a sudden with attacks, and there's nothing you can do. Well, guess what? 4chan don't like that, and 4chan is weaponized autism, and they will find you. And they did find Mr. Eric Clanton. Unfortunately, all charges were dropped. So we got a lot of ideology hurting us from taking the bad eggs and prosecuting us. So within any group, we always get bad eggs, especially within BLM. BLM isn't dealing with them. The cops try to deal with them, but everyone just gets let right out, bringing us back to the same situation night after night. And it's really something to see. It's really something to see. Anyways, these kids are the latest thing. These kids are the latest thing because Antifa can tell them what to do. They can order them around. And there are videos of people being, like, cut by them. There was a girl who got stabbed in the face by one of these kids. Moms who are out there in the wall of moms. If you're not under arrest, and there's no way you're under arrest with this catch and release method, you got to be finding your kids. Don't be at the wall of moms protesting. Bring your kids in. You don't know the Antifa people that are leading your kids around and what they're doing to the kids. And once again, I have to say out there for everyone who is from Europe that thinks they know Antifa, that knows Antifa Europe, this is American Antifa, and they're definitely different. I think it was during World War II when the Americans came in, there were a lot of people that didn't like the way that they fought because they fought differently. Americans would bring shotguns, and Hitler really didn't like that. Who gives a crap? But anyways, the Americans have a different way of doing things. They put their own spin on things, and this new Antifa that's out is unlike the European Antifa. The American Antifa are anarchists, they're Marxists, and they're really not good people. They're really not good. When I hear Antifa in other countries, I'm like, yeah. When I hear about Antifa here, no, they're anarchists. They don't mind hurting people. So yeah, anyways, in Toronto we had the G20 protests. There were more riots, I should say, flat out riots. You see those black and red flags? Yeah, those are Antifa. Those are anarchists flags. There's a lot of people trying to tell me that Antifa are not anarchists, but 100% in North America, Antifa are anarchists. In fact, you know what? Even in Europe, if they fly a red and black flag, that's anarchy right there. Blam, that's anarchy. Anyways, these guys, you see these guys with the knocks on their head, but what you don't see, what I'm not really finding many videos on right now, is the folks that went around breaking into buildings, smashing glass. It's like YouTube's, there's a lot of people on the left there, and they don't want to show you everything going on. Alright, here we go. I've managed to find something. So, this is the first time I ran into the Black Bloc during the G20 protests. I should say Antifa. Black Bloc is really just a tactic, but once again, in North America, Antifa is Black Bloc. Black Bloc has become a thing. Now, who defines a translation of a word? Is it the dictionary or is it the individual? Because if enough people start using a word in a particular way, a dictionary will change its definition of it. And everyone likes to tell me that Antifa and Black Bloc are two different things, and I totally disagree. They're the exact same thing now within North America, and that's reprehensible. That's absolutely reprehensible. Look at all this black and red. Now, the thing is, even after this happened in Toronto, I'd go to Toronto and I would see people demonstrating on the streets in roaming protests, completely surrounded by police to make sure they were okay, in black bloc, all the time. Even when there was nothing going on, they would still be protesting. And I'd tell people, you know, those Antifa on the street, and they're like, no, who's Antifa? Even last month, nobody knew who Antifa was in Toronto. And I'd say, you know, those guys with the black and red flags that dress up totally in black and protest on the street? Oh yeah, they know who those guys were. They know who those guys were. And it's like we got a lot of ignorance here, a lot of well-meaning, a lot of ignorance, and a lot of broken places. And it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. It's not gotten any better either. It's as if there's a cancer that we weren't dealing with, and the cancer is spread. The cancer is spread through ideology. It got into our schools, our universities, and it's just freaking ugly. It's really ugly, and I think that Canada definitely helped foster this. So in one of the places that's close to me, I got University of Waterloo, the University of Guelph, and if you wear a red hat that has writing on it, you might get roughed up, but you definitely will get a hard time, and that really upsets me. I'm not a Trump supporter. I think the guy's a bit of an idiot, but Hillary Clinton, Trump, Biden, Trump, man, you guys didn't have a lot of options down there in the States. It ain't right. It ain't right. So once again, the left seem to have this outrage invulnerability that they go with. They're right in a social justice way. They get outraged that things aren't their way, and they get invulnerable. And the invulnerability that we can see here in Portland is the invulnerability of the protesters, who will be released, catch and release. They'll be booked. They won't be charged. But you know what? If you get arrested, if you try to come to Canada, if you're at that border, they will flat out ask you, have you ever been arrested before? They won't ask you if you've been convicted. They won't ask you if you've had to pay any fine. They will ask, have you been arrested? And if you've been booked, ladies and gentlemen, you've been arrested. So that ain't going to look good for you. That ain't going to look good for you if you try to get another job. But there is an invulnerability that the left is enjoying, and we see it all around. Now, I definitely seen this, and I said this before, when it came to one particular park where in daylight homosexuals would come, go to the bushes, and make love, shall we say. Now, there's nothing more beautiful than making love. Do it in your own home. Don't do it in a public park where my kids are going to see. And I knew about this place 20 years ago, but I couldn't tell my friends that this is wrong. And you shouldn't be doing this stuff. This shouldn't be happening. It's reprehensible. Oh, well, it's just homosexual people and they're different, and if we discriminate against them. No, I'm not discriminating against homosexuals. Once again, if my wife dropped meat would be on the menu. I'm just saying that. But it's reprehensible. You don't have sex in public where kids play. It's just universally stupid, man. It's like if Lex Luthor all of a sudden became homosexual. He would be invulnerable to Superman. Superman could not stop him, even if Lex Luthor was trying to take over the whole world. And that is stupid. So I do believe that this could be considered an illegal assembly. I bet they haven't pulled a permit to do this. I bet the city doesn't know about this. I bet this is breaking city noise laws. But of course, nothing's going to happen because they have the invulnerability of the social justice left. And man, that gets me going. That really gets me going. It doesn't seem like anyone's willing to do anything for it, because if you do, it looks like you're abusing them. So now we got a class of people who are absolutely invulnerable. They can do no wrong because apparently they are or were oppressed. Now the thing, I can't say anything about black people. I can't say anything about them. I can say a lot about white people. I can say a lot about snowflake Antifa types because I've been watching them and I know their type, and I used to hang out with them all the time. Heck, I still have friends that would go out to this place. If I had friends that went out to this place now and did this kind of stuff, I would absolutely slap them and I would put them in line. But what's really interesting is with these types, you can't even have a dialogue, because since they're so oppressed and since they're invulnerable, you just outrage them with your facts. Now, the thing is, within life, we need facts. We need to check each other. I get checked here all the time, and I have a lot of great commenters that set me right. Sometimes I'm wrong, and that happens. We're human. We have the ability to be wrong. But what I'm really proud of a lot of my commenters for is sometimes I really put my foot in my mouth, and they set me straight, and they do it in a nice way, and they don't call me names. YouTube doesn't have to delete what they say. And with civil discord, with just a conversation, we can teach each other a whole bunch. But we have to be able to come to the table and try our ideas against each other without being outraged. Anyways, folks, that's it for me. Nev from the Riot Watch. Have a good one and take care of each other, seriously. And don't get outraged if you get into a situation where you need to talk about things and set people straight. Don't be yelling. Just we can get through this reasonably. We'll find a way. Things will get better. Have a good one, folks. Take care of each other.